Today I want to discuss about Mass Effect drama. Mass Effect drama. Why is it drama? Because Mass Effect TV series is being produced, and it will be not about original trilogy. Why Mass Effect was so famous is because of these three games: Mass Effect One, Mass Effect Two, and Mass Effect Three, and all of them were like one game, one story, maybe not one game, but one story about Shepard, a commander of Human Alliance, gathering whole galaxy around him and around this idea that we must together stop the Reapers, sentient machines, very ancient, very ominous, very airy. Creatures, robots like we don't surely know, but someone who was an apex in many ways of technology and even of thinking. So one race couldn't stand a chance against the Reapers, and this trilogy is about defeating them, and it was a success, more or less, because there were like four, maybe even five different, but four general, five lesser, let's say five different endings, but they were similar in shape. Right now, we will be having a TV series about Mass Effect World, not about this specific trilogy and Commander Shepard, and this is a good news for us that it will be a story in this universe, but not about the story of Shepard and of the Reapers. But and Amazon is doing this show. It's because probably of the success of Fallout series. We have two seasons. They were very famous. Maybe, and also we had even earlier Last of Us TV series. Maybe not as a success as Fallout, but still a success, and it is because of the game, very famous game, Last of Us One and Last of Us Two. And Fallout is about very famous Fallout franchise when we have many Fallout games. So we as fans of Mass Effect, and Mass Effect is surely the best sci-fi RPG we have played so far, and sci-fi RPGs are very rare. Even futuristic RPGs like let's say Deus Ex franchise or Fallout, they are not sci-fi. They are in the future. Fallout, for example, 2 is even in farther future than Mass Effect series, but it is on Earth. It is more post-apocalyptic RPG game, and Deus Ex is mainly on Earth. So it's not. These games are also mainly on Earth, not space traveling, interstellar traveling, and discussing problems with different races of the galaxy. And we have concerning information that the leaders of Amazon decided that the scenario for Mass Effect is too focus on gamers, that it should be more applicable to those who don't know games, Mass Effect games, and those who are not interested in games in general, so to the broader public. And for us it is a concerning way of thinking, because they are doing this series because of the fans and because of the famous of Mass Effect series. So they are doing this not because someone invented an original scenario and it was accepted, but Mass Effect was created by BioWare, very famous studio from Canada, and it is this studio produced the best RPG games on Earth. Maybe Black Isle Studio, which was their publisher, was in their league, but other than that, these are the producers of the best RPG games in our time. And but unfortunately for them, three last games of BioWare, so Anthem, Mass Effect Andromeda, Anthem, and then Dragon Age Veilguards, they were completely medicore games, but still, games such as Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, Jade Empire, Knights of the Old Republic first part and second was inspired by BioWare and done by Obsidian Entertainment, but in Obsidian Entertainment there are people from Black Isle, so these are like the same types of people doing these games. And of course they created Mass Effect 1, 2 and 3, a very famous game. I would say it's the best, for me it's the best game ever made. Not only RPG game, not only sci-fi RPG game, but the best game I have ever played, the best trilogy I have ever played. And of course they did titles such as Knights of the Old Republic, MMORPG, Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, Jade Empire, MDK 2, which is not an RPG game, but their games are really, and of course Neverwinter Nights and second was done by Obsidian, so some people from Black Isle also. So these are very famous RPG games, really epic. And of course, I would say because I didn't play, unfortunately, in Baldur's Gate 3, but for me, the best fantasy RPG game ever made is also by BioWare, Dragon Age Origins. Dragon Age 2 and Dragon Age Inquisition, for me, they were not as good as Dragon Age Origins, and Dragon Age Origins was a spiritual successor of Baldur's Gate 2. It is very good game, really dark, but also very serious and grounded about topics they are discussing. For example, about mages in this world, very and about religion. For example, in Dragon Age Origins, I have met for the first time a religion which was founded in this game. It was an original concept, and it was really believable that such religion could exist. So this TV series made by Amazon is a little bit, we are concerning like we are about Rings of Power. Rings of Power are made on famous creator of fantasy genre, Tolkien. Tolkien was a British, he fought in First World War, and he created this very famous universe, and he created the fantasy genre in general. But Rings of Power, they are really a banal TV series, completely mediocre, whitewashed in many ways, simplified to the point of primitivism and banality. And we are afraid that this idea that Mass Effect series, Mass Effect TV show should be more appealing to general audience for us is concerning, because the success was not because of the general public of acceptance of some original series, but because of the gamers who discern that this show is that this game is really worthy to make a TV series. And of course Amazon also is thinking this way. So why changing something which for many gamers is perfect? The idea of this groundbreaking war between some sentient machines who are far above even the most advanced races in the galaxy. Because the Mass Effect trilogy was not a simple game. Even though we have a main enemy, we have heroes. They are beautiful. They are badass and so on. But the story is really about was our galaxy, Milky Way galaxy, life in this galaxy will end, because Reapers didn't let's say genocide all races from the galaxy, because we know that this happened earlier in the galaxy, but they only wiped out the advanced civilizations. So, for example, when they were fighting with Protheans 50,000 years before Mass Effect war, before Mass Effect series, they wiped out the Prothean civilization, but other races, like for example humans in their Neanderthalic species, they were saved. They were not touched by any means by Reapers. So Reapers only evaporated the most advanced race or the most advanced races in the galaxy. Very original topic that they wanted to make this cycle again and again. And we were the first to see this through earlier and to stop them. So the idea was really original and was really epic in a way. And now they wanted to be it another, let's say, Star Trek or another Star Wars. You cannot copy ideas from Star Trek and from Star Wars because these ideas are grounded. There are many comics, TV shows, and fans of these genres. So you need to do something original. And Mass Effect series was a very original game. When you, for example, will be playing in Mass Effect, you see that races of the galaxy, and these races were invented by BioWare making this game. They are really original. They have very specific look, each of these race, very specific ideology, very specific way of even talking, of making business, of looking, of believing, and all for me. I was playing it in my 20s. It was all very believable. It was really believable that that such races can and could exist in our galaxy. So the motive that game should be, because we are not sure what does it specifically mean, because it was only published to us in paraphrases. We don't know concrete answers to the writers, but the scenario is not finally is not finally accepted, and there are some tweaks about the scenario. But I'm afraid that they want to do what happened to very original Netflix series Stranger Things. Unfortunately, I didn't watch fifth season, but from what I have heard and what I have heard in reviews, we see that the season was just a very simple, rather stupid ending to the whole series. And it was a big and huge disappointment because fourth season was really original, was really brutal, was really dark, was really serious. It claimed many because third season was a little bit too goofy, cherry like, and many were worried where Stranger Things series is going, and but even Critical Drinker, which is usually this British guy is usually very critical about reviews which he is doing. He said that fourth season was really something unexpected from him for him. That he also thought that it will be a really generic another Stranger Things series, and it wasn't. It was really original, but the ending for almost everyone was almost like a disaster. That it was like a Marvel movie. It was like a Marvel movie in a very original world. And we, for example, we have I'm doing this review in April, and in April for maybe 2 weeks from now we will have an animation TV series about Stranger Things. It will be after the ending of second season and before the third season. So fans are afraid that this animation TV series is more is more focused on than the most important fifth season of Stranger Things, and it was criticized that the plot was really stupid. I even cannot understand that they went back to the idea that Vecna is not a final villain, but it is this villain from second season and from the third season. I forgot its name, but it is really stupid because Vecna was a perfect adversary to the ending of fifth season. He was really perfect adversary, perfect bad boss. So I'm really afraid what they want to change in Mass Effect universe to be more appealing to gamers. Because of course Mass Effect games they were a financial success, but they were not financial success to the point of, let's say, Witcher 3 or GTA 5 or let's say some other RPG games, like for example Cyberpunk. But still, when we thinking about the plot, about the original idea, and about seriousness of the game, because for BioWare games are the only games for me, maybe not the only, but very rarely we see this in other studios, that they are not infantile. Even though I was playing in RPG games from my kids year, I noticed that the first game I have played of BioWare was of course Baldur's Gate in 1998. For me, this game was very original because it was like playing in real adventure, not a computer game, not a funny, goofy like idea of moving bricks or shooting something colorful. It was really like a life telling story adventure game. And right now, when I'm replaying it, I see that it is still a very original, grounded game, not infantile. I wasn't even sure what infantile means fully in those years. I was a teenager when I was playing first Baldur's Gate, and almost all other BioWare games are like a story, but a story for older people, not for kids, not even for teenagers. So these games are really serious. They are really advanced, and what we have seen from Rings of Power, that you can have a great idea, lots of money, and you cannot do anything because Rings of Power looks like shit. It is not watchable. Characters are so AI like generated that they should just computer generated them and not choose those actors who completely cannot understand their roles as a legendary epic characters. And for example, Rings of Power is focusing on the most advanced civilization of humans, Numenor. And they are really so, and even elves there. Most of these elves are Noldorin elves, so they are the elves who were seeing the undying lands on the west. So they are like lands where gods of this universe live, and you watch them, and you watch just humans who want to be elves. So I'm really afraid that the changes in Rings of Power, and doing from this a very banal, simple like story will will be also the lot of BioWare series, because for example Duffer Brothers, who created Stranger Things series, each season each season was really exceptional. I would say third was the weakest, not counting fifth, but it was the weakest because the change of the tone, not because of the worse roles or worse everything or worse effects, worse scenography, worse choreography, or worse acting by actors. But all of these seasons they were really upper middle class idea. The story is really the story, the actors, the world building is really upper class, and fifth season destroyed it all. So I'm really afraid that Mass Effect is a really delicate game, delicate trilogy. You need to understand this trilogy fully, read all books, and the prime scenographer admitted that he read it. But and Michael Gamble, who is working on next Mass Effect, he's the lead of BioWare and leading the creation of next Mass Effect, is also an executive producer. So this is good information for us. But I'm really afraid what we will get. What we will get if they don't want a series making about famous game, not appealing as much to the gamers as it should. I'm really worried. Let me know in the comments what do you think about this idea.